I came home early, hoping to surprise my daughter with her favorite cookies. Instead, I found her scrubbing the kitchen floor, her tiny hands raw and red. Outside, I heard laughter, my nephews, my mother-in-law's, the sound of joy that clearly didn't belong to my child. When I asked Lily what happened, she whispered, "They said I don't deserve to have fun because I'm not really family." In that moment, something inside me shattered. But what they didn't know was that I was about to show them exactly what being a real mother meant. If this moment broke your heart like it broke mine, stick around because what comes next will make you believe in justice, love, and the fierce power of a mother's heart. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real-life drama. My name is Aaron Parker. I'm 35, a public relations specialist living in Chicago, and the proudest mother in the world to a little girl named Lily. Lily came into my life at just 3 years old. Her parents, my sister-in-law, and her husband tragically passed in a car accident, and no one in the family stepped forward. No one except me. I was only dating Jack back then. We weren't married, but when I told him I wanted to take Lily in, he looked me straight in the eyes and said, "Then she's my daughter too." We've been married for 5 years now. And to the world, we might look like the perfect little family, me, Jack, and Lily. Our apartment is modest, but warm, filled with art projects, dance music, and the constant smell of homemade banana bread. Every inch of our lives is built with love. But there's one part of our world that has always felt off. Jack's family, specifically his mother Diane and his uncle Ryan, have never fully accepted Lily. Oh, they smile. They say the right things in front of company. But I've seen the way Diane's face tightens when Lily calls Jack daddy. I've seen Ryan's son Mason receive overflowing gifts and praise while Lily gets polite nods and thin smiles. They never say it outright, but I can feel it in the room every time we visit them. To them, Lily isn't truly one of us. She's tolerated, not treasured. Jack defends her fiercely. He's a good man. He grew up in a home where appearances mattered more than truth, where his mother used guilt like a second language and his Uncle Ryan ran his mouth like he was born king of the neighborhood. But Jack broke away from that. He chose love, chose me, chose Lily. Still, I tried to keep the peace. I told myself they'd come around, that if Lily was just sweet enough, smart enough, helpful enough, maybe they'd see what we saw. A bright, loving, gentle soul who deserved the world. And to be fair, there were moments. Diane would sometimes bring Lily a small gift. Ryan once praised her for cleaning up after dinner, though I couldn't tell if he meant it or if it was just a way to shame Mason, who'd been glued to his iPad all evening. I gave them the benefit of the doubt because I wanted Lily to have grandparents. I wanted her to feel connected to family beyond just Jack and me. So we visited. We called. We sent holiday cards. And Lily, ever hopeful, drew pictures and made crafts to give them every time. She called Diane Grandma D. She said it with pride. And maybe that's what hurts the most now, how much Lily wanted to belong and how little they saw her for who she really was. A few weeks ago, I was invited to speak at a major PR conference downtown. It was a huge opportunity for me, years of hard work finally being recognized. Jack had to travel for business that same weekend, so I asked Diane and Ryan if Lily could stay with them for the day. "Oh, absolutely," Diane beamed. "We'd love to take her. She'll have so much fun with Mason." I hesitated. "Are you sure I don't want her to be a burden?" "Nonsense," Ryan cut in. "She's part of the family. She'll have a blast. I wanted to believe them. I packed Lily's favorite dress, a small bag with her snacks and books, and dropped her off that Saturday morning with a hug and a whisper. You be good, and don't forget how much Mommy loves you. She waved at me, smiling, her pink backpack bouncing behind her. I left for my conference, feeling confident. Maybe this was the breakthrough. Maybe they were finally ready to treat Lily like their own. But nothing could have prepared me for what I came home to that evening. The conference had gone even better than I'd hoped. My panel was well received, and I'd made connections with 2 high-profile clients. I left with a small bouquet and a heart full of pride, not just for my work, but for finally trusting Diane and Ryan with Lily. I even stopped by Lily's favorite bakery on the way home. I wanted to surprise her with her favorite chocolate chip cookies with extra sea salt. Something told me she'd have so many stories to share, and I was eager to hear every single one. But when I pulled into Diane's driveway that afternoon, something didn't feel right. There were bikes and scooters strewn across the front lawn, Mason's no doubt. Music and laughter drifted out from the backyard, and I heard Ryan's booming voice cheering someone on. A water balloon fight, maybe? The kind of messy, noisy joy I expected them to include Lily in. I walked in through the side door, calling out lightly, "Hello?" No answer. The kitchen smelled like fried food and lemonade. There were plates on the counter. Half-eaten burgers, ketchup smears, soda cans. It looked like a party had happened, or was still happening. Then I heard it. Not laughter, not music, but the slow, quiet sound of something dragging across tile. I followed the sound, down the hallway, past the living room, toward the laundry area. There on her knees was my daughter. Lily was on the floor, scrubbing hard at a sticky mess with a sponge that looked 3 days past useful. Her little hands were pink and swollen. Her hair was sticking to her forehead with sweat, and her dress, her favorite one with sunflowers, was stained and damp. She looked up when she saw me. Her eyes widened for a split second, then dropped quickly back to the floor. Lily. I knelt beside her, setting down the cookies. She flinched. She flinched. I reached out gently, taking the sponge from her hand. "Sweetheart, what are you doing?" She blinked at me, lips trembling. "Cleaning the floor." "Grandma said it was my turn." "Your turn." She nodded. "Mason doesn't have to, 'cause he helped with lunch." She hesitated, eyes darting toward the back door. But I didn't get to eat lunch yet. I had to clean up the porch first. 1,000 questions flooded my brain, but I held them back. "Didn't you play outside with Mason?" She looked down at the sponge. "No." I swallowed hard. "Why not?" And then came the words that broke me. They said, "I don't deserve fun. I'm just a guest." I froze. My hand gripped the sponge until my knuckles turned white. Before I could respond, I heard Diane's voice ring from the living room light, laughing animated. I stood up and walked toward the sound. There she was, sitting on the couch, with her phone up to her ear, clearly FaceTiming someone. "Oh, it was wonderful," she was saying. "Ryan grilled burgers, Mason played so nicely, and we took the kids to the park earlier. You should have seen Mason on the jungle gym, such a little daredevil. She hadn't seen me yet." "And Lily?" the voice on the phone asked. Diane's lips tightened briefly. "Oh, she was around, quiet, helpful. Not much of a social butterfly, that one. But Mason? Oh, he was just Diane." My voice was sharp, ice cold. She turned, startled. "Aaron, I didn't know you were back already. I can see that." I walked in slowly. Where's Jack's daughter? She blinked. What, your granddaughter, Diane? The little girl who's currently scrubbing your floor with raw hands. She stood up quickly. Now, Aaron, let's not overreact. She wanted to help. She wanted to help. My voice was rising. Did she also want to skip lunch, to stay behind while everyone else went to the park? Did she ask to be treated like a maid? While Mason got to be the golden child? Diane's face hardened. Aaron, don't twist this. Mason is my grandson, and Lily is your son's daughter. She's family, and you treated her like trash, like she didn't matter. Do you have any idea what you've done? Just then, Ryan stepped in holding a beer. What's all the yelling about? I turned to him. Did you think I wouldn't find out? That you could mistreat my child behind my back? Ryan shrugged. She wasn't hurt. We just taught her some responsibility. She's 7, I said, my voice trembling. She doesn't need responsibility. She needs love, kindness, a family that sees her. She's already lost so much, and today you made her feel like she didn't belong. There was silence. Then Diane said softly, She's not blood. And just like that, everything inside me snapped. She's not blood. Diane's words echoed like a slap in the face. Not blood. As if everything we'd built, every bedtime story, every scraped knee kissed, every birthday candle blown out, meant nothing. I didn't speak right away. I couldn't. My mouth opened, but no sound came out. All I could hear was the crack in my daughter's voice. I'm just a guest. Finally, I said, You think blood is what makes someone family? Diane crossed her arms. It matters. It's not the only thing, but it matters. I stepped toward her, my eyes never leaving hers. Then tell me, what exactly do you think Lily is to you? She shifted uncomfortably. She's Jack's daughter now, by adoption. But it's different. Different how? Because she didn't come from your side of the gene pool. Because she's not another Mason for you to spoil rotten and parade around like a trophy. That's not fair, Diane snapped. You're twisting my words. No, I said, voice low and steady. I'm hearing them exactly as you meant them. Ryan scoffed from the side. You're making a big deal out of nothing. We didn't hurt her. We gave her chores like any other kid. Did Mason clean floors until his knuckles turned red? Ryan didn't answer. I pressed forward. You made her feel like she had to earn your love. That if she didn't scrub and stay quiet, she didn't belong. She's 7. She lost her parents. She's doing her best to find her place in this world, and instead of lifting her up, you shoved her down. Ryan finally snapped. You think just because you adopted her, everyone has to pretend she's yours. Newsflash, Aaron, she'll never be Parker blood. You can play house all you want, but don't expect the rest of us to lie to ourselves. I froze. Not because his words hurt me, but because they hurt Lily, who was standing right behind me. I didn't know she'd followed me into the room. I didn't know she'd heard. But I saw her just a few feet away, small, silent, clutching the sleeves of her stained dress, eyes wide with disbelief and pain. Her lips parted. I don't belong. My heart shattered. I ran to her, kneeling again, taking her face in my hands. Sweetheart, no. You do. You do. You belong with me. You always have. Tears spilled down her cheeks. She tried to speak, but no sound came out, just a choking sob. I turned on Diane and Ryan, rising to my feet. You may not want her, but we do, Jack and I. She is our daughter. And after today, I swear she will never set foot in this house again. Diane's voice was tight. Aaron, don't overreact. Families fight. It doesn't mean, no, I said, trembling with rage. Families fight. But this wasn't a fight. This was cruelty. This was deliberate. And I will never let you near her again unless you earn it back. And that's not happening today or tomorrow. I took Lily's hand, leading her toward the door. Diane reached out. Wait. I turned sharply. Don't touch her. And then we left. The car ride home was silent. Lily held the cookie box on her lap, but didn't eat a single one. Her tears had dried, but her face was pale and unreadable. When we got home, I sat on the couch with her brushing her hair back and whispering softly. Do you know how loved you are? I asked. By me, by Daddy. She nodded slowly, but her voice was quiet. Then why don't they love me? That question, that one question stabbed me deeper than anything Diane or Ryan had said. I didn't have an answer, not a real one. So I just held her and said, some people don't understand what love means, but we do. You and me, we know how to love better than they ever could. Jack called that night. I didn't want to burden him while he was away, but I couldn't keep this from him either. I told him everything, every word, every look, every wound they inflicted on our child. There was silence on the other end of the line. Then a low, firm voice. They'll never hurt her again, I promise. I believed him, but I also knew that promises weren't enough anymore. It was time for boundaries, for consequences, for change. I tucked Lily into bed, kissed her forehead, and whispered, no one gets to decide your worth but you. She looked up at me. Are we still family? I smiled through my tears. Forever, baby. Forever and always. The days that followed, Jack and I tried to keep things calm for Lily's sake, but the hurt in her eyes was like an open wound that wouldn't stop bleeding. Every time we mentioned Grandma Diane or Uncle Ryan, Lily would shrink into my arms, trembling. Mom, she whispered one day, why don't they want me? Did I do something wrong? I wiped my tears away and held her tight. No, baby, you did nothing wrong. Some people just don't know how to love. At night, Lily had trouble sleeping. She dreamed she was left behind, excluded from the family, fun, stuck in the dark, feeling utterly alone. My heart ached more than any physical pain, the pain of injustice, of cold rejection from people who were supposed to love her. One time, I overheard Diane and Ryan talking in the living room. Jack and Aaron are making a fuss over nothing, Diane said. Lily's just not our blood. We can't treat her like family. Ryan laughed bitterly. Exactly. She's a guest, a charity case. It's not our problem if they want to pretend otherwise. My chest tightened, but I knew I had to stay calm. Anger alone wouldn't win this battle. I looked at Lily, her innocent eyes already shadowed by fear and sadness. Mom, she said one day, why do they treat me like I'm invisible? I promised myself no one would ever make my daughter feel invisible again. I started writing down every cruel word, every cold gesture, every moment of disrespect and rejection. None of this would be ignored. Lily wasn't just my daughter. She was my little warrior, and I would fight for her no matter what. After days of silent suffering, Jack and I knew it was time. We couldn't just protect Lily by hiding her away. We had to fight back, not with anger, but with strategy, strength, and undeniable truth. First, we made a firm decision. Diane would no longer have unsupervised access to Lily. No more surprise visits, no more excuses. Every visit would be planned, every moment accountable. I sent Diane a text that read, simply, if you want to be part of Lily's life, respect and kindness are not optional. We expect equal love and fairness. Otherwise, you're not welcome. She didn't reply. Instead, I gathered proof. Photos of Lily's red raw hands after cleaning floors. Videos of Diane and Ryan laughing about their fun day at the park without Lily. Messages where Ryan referred to Lily as just a guest. I documented every cruel word, every sign of neglect. Next, I approached Jack's lawyer. We reviewed adoption laws and family rights. I wanted everything by the book, so there would be no loopholes for Diane or Ryan to exploit. Then came the hardest part, the confrontation. We invited Diane and Ryan to dinner, a neutral setting where nothing would be left unsaid. The tension was thick the moment Diane walked in. Her eyes icy but guarded. Ryan smirked, clearly amused by the idea of a family intervention. Jack started calmly. We want to talk about Lily's well-being and what happened last week. Diane crossed her arms. I don't see what the big deal is. That's because you don't see her, I said firmly. Not really. Lily isn't a chore or a charity case. She's Jack's daughter, and my daughter, and she deserves to be treated like family. Ryan laughed. She's not not our blood. That's how families work. No, I said, voice steady. Families are about love, about respect, about choosing to stand up for each other. I pulled out the photo album pictures of Lily, alone scrubbing floors, her hands raw and aching. Photos from Diane's phone showing a carefree Mason and other cousins at the park having fun while Lily was left behind. Jack held up the screenshots of the texts and videos. The room fell silent. Diane's eyes darted around, unable to meet ours. Finally, I said, this isn't about hurting you. It's about making sure Lily doesn't get hurt again. Ryan's smirk faded. So what, you're kicking us out? Taking her away? No, Jack said quietly. We're setting boundaries. If you want to be in her life, you have to earn it with kindness, fairness, and respect. Diane looked down, her voice cracking. I didn't realize how much I hurt her. I thought I was protecting our family. You were hurting our family, I said, and it stops now. From that night, everything changed. Diane stopped making snide remarks. Ryan's teasing became less frequent. They started inviting Lily to family dinners without conditions or chores. Lily's smile slowly returned. She no longer flinched when they called her name. One afternoon, Diane pulled me aside. I'm sorry, Aaron, she whispered. For everything. I was wrong. I nodded, feeling a weight lift. The real victory wasn't in punishment, it was in healing. Lily had finally found her place, and we had shown that love isn't about blood, it's about the heart. Weeks passed, and the house felt lighter, warmer. The cold walls that once echoed with silence and tension now filled with laughter, Lily's laughter, bright and free. One evening, Diane sat beside me on the couch. Her eyes were soft, filled with a new kind of understanding. I want to thank you, Aaron, she said quietly, for opening my eyes and my heart. I was wrong to treat Lily as anything less than family. I smiled, reaching out to hold her hand. We all make mistakes, Diane. What matters is how we fix them. Lily came running in, her face glowing. She flung her arms around Diane in a hug so genuine It melted every barrier. "Grandma," she whispered, "thank you for loving me." Jack joined us, wrapping us all in a warm embrace, the kind of family hug that promises safety, belonging, and love. Looking at them, I felt a deep peace settle inside me. The road had been painful, but it led us here to a family rebuilt on truth and love. And as Lily looked up at me with those shining eyes, I knew this was only the beginning of our story. Because love, real love, always wins.